Hi, I'm Steve Troletti, and welcome to the 2021 Trevor Carpenter Photo Challenge. This week, very special challenge for you guys. Nothing new here at the Photo Challenge. Time-lapse photography. We've had 2 of those in the past. I encourage you to go back. An end-of-day time-lapse and a moving time-lapse where we kind of rigged up an IKEA egg timer to rotate our smartphones and action cameras. This time around, I'm not going to dictate anything as far as what you need to shoot or how you need to shoot it, because with COVID-19, we're really, all in different predicaments, and I'm going to leave that up to your creativity. One little rule we need to follow when it comes, though, to shooting, very important, is our exposure. And that's important because the obturation speed will impact the frame-to-frame smoothness. And technically, in video, if we're shooting standard video on the internet, 30 frames a second, we double that 60, that's 1/60th of a second. Gives us slow enough of a shutter speed to capture a little bit of motion. Now, I encourage you to experiment, go slower. You may need to lower your ISOs, put some ND or VND filters in front of your camera just to get that speed lower. Now, I've used ND 1000 filters. I got down middle of the day, I think half-a-second exposures on a moving river, and I got some amazing results that I really didn't expect. So experiment. And also, prepare your time-lapse, invest a bit of time. The more you plan and prepare, the more rewarding these time-lapses will be for you. Now, also intervals. I'll put a guide here, a little chart in our website, photochallenge.tempesora.com, with also a ton of examples and links to tutorials. But, very simple. If you're going to choose an interval, it all depends on your subject. City streets, downtown, lots of people moving. I'd shoot that at about half a second. Intervals here, clouds aren't moving too fast. Maybe 2-3 second interval. You can do astrophotography, and then you've got exposures, something like 15 seconds an exposure. So you're really going to be looking at taking a picture every 20 seconds. Give the time for the camera buffer to clear and process that image. So there's a lot you can do, and depending on that subject, you're going to have to choose an interval to give us the best result possible. Now, because we're planning on doing this and concentrating on photographic techniques, what I want to do is try and create the images and build a time-lapse from those images as much as possible. For Lightroom users, it's going to be a fun project because you can download the evaluation copy of LR time-lapse, and that is going to allow you to use a maximum of 400 images to create your time-lapse. Since we're looking for 10 to 15 second videos, not really any longer, just look at 300 images are already going to give you your 10 seconds. Now, that is probably the best way to create the smoothest time-lapse videos possible. It's a little technical. I'm going to put links to tutorials. It looks complicated at first, but once you've done it once, it becomes really easy. Your second choice is to do it with, still use your images, but with any video editor. Every second of footage is going to have 30 frames, which means 30 images. You just shove them in there and create your time-lapse. Again, nothing really longer than 15 seconds. And then we have another choice. Today, many of our cameras, whether it be DSLRs, mirrorless, phones, little action cameras, will create an in-camera video. Now, you still have to concentrate on your photography. You got to give me a killer composition, but you also got to respect your exposure speeds, or else it's also going to come through a little harsh on your final video out of camera. Now, all the details for this photo challenge, again, photochallenge.tempesora.com. You're going to have lots of examples, lots and lots of tutorials and links across the internet, from videos to pages to read. A lot to go through to do this really well. And I also found a page that is dedicated to time-lapse photography. You're going to have a ton of tools there to help you with this photo challenge. Now, as a quick note, I almost gave up on this challenge. I encountered everything from violent thunderstorms to tornado alerts, to take shelter alerts for those tornadoes. So what I did is I documented all that in a little video that I've got the links here below. and I actually entitled it The Curse of the 2021 Trevor Carpenter Photo Challenge. So I invite you to take a look at that, and as usual, have fun with photography, have fun with this photo challenge, and again, thank you very much for being part of the Trevor Carpenter Photo Challenge.